No jingles. Tell me when we're live.
Finally, we're live.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the worst podcast in the universe, the Stream of Random. Today with our special guest Claudette and Alex and our constant guest, Mr. Harry, and me, Hacker Mike from New Jersey, the center of the quarantine. How y'all doing?
Good.
We're doing good.
Today, my little township of Ewing made the news because they someone threw a Corona party.
Oh, was it the college? Was it the millennials, or it was actually the college students?
I don't think it was college students. It was some 40-something-year-old dude from the neighborhood who threw a Corona party and was shut down by Governor Phil Murphy and the Ewing Township Police.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you
I'll send you a link.
Oh, it's on the news?
Oh, it's on the news. It's on national television.
Wow.
I want to see this.
I'll send it. Harry, you got to turn off your speakerphone, my friend.
I don't got a speakerphone on. I'm on headphones.
Okay. Then it might be me.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't want that.
The usual suspects.
So
That's
Alex
it.
wants sour cream, and he wants to risk going to the store to get sour cream. So
Yeah.
now he's looking at Amazon to see if he can order it, and it comes in a powdered form, which I'm thinking is going to be disgusting.
Very likely.
Now, did you check out Intershop?
We have a local dairy that I've been getting things delivered from once a week, and they're just out of stock. So I feel like I got him cream cheese for him to dip his cheese in. He has these cheese crisps.
Oh, my God.
They're delicious. They're from Bunker Hill Cheese in Ohio. They're like potato chips, but cheese, and they have every flavor imaginable, like a potato chip.
So,
Delicious.
a lot of the people who I work for, they all left, and they went to work for this company called GoPuff.
What is it called?
GoPuff.com.
What's that?
They do deliveries of like snacks and munchies and also sanitary devices and other things like rolling papers and grinders and things and bongs.
Interesting. So I don't think they're going to have sour cream at this place. I think sour cream is a little bit too high end.
But I checked out this thing called Intershop, which is a shopping service that will go shopping for you. Let me see. And they want a 20% tip on top of their inflated prices.
Well, I think
But
that
they
there's
like-
I'll just go shopping myself.
I don't mind paying someone. You know, Grubhub and them, they don't
Yeah.
make that much money. You order something that's $20, and the 20% tip on that is nothing. So it's
Yeah.
not, I don't like Mike. You are on the extreme cheap end of things too.
Well, you know, if nobody paid them tip, they would just quit because it wasn't profitable,
Right.
and then
Well, why would you do that?
and then the
That's how
companies
they're trying to make a living right now.
and then the companies would be forced to pay them more.
Well, here, guys, I am extremely cheap, but it's not that I'm cheap like I don't want to support society, but I'm just frugal and picky about where I spend my money.
Yeah.
This is literally the companies being like, we're not going to pay them enough to make us profitable, but we'll pull on your heartstrings so you can pay them more.
I guess
Oh,
so.
yeah, with the
I
tip?
don't use Grubhub services like that, and
It's not called Intershop. It's called something else. I don't know the name right now.
And I've been using a local farm that delivers, and they have a minimum that has no delivery fee. So I usually try to order to that minimum.
And you should support your local farms as much as you can, and not these Silicon Valley douchebags.
That's what I do, and that's what I try to get
I
other people to
second
do.
that.
But a lot of people don't want to spend an extra dollar to purchase meat from a good quality source
Mm.
and
When
would
they could have
rather go
McDonald's.
and get chicken that's like $1 a pound that's fed crap, and then you're ingesting crap. So
Do you know $1 a pound is cheaper than dog food?
I'm just using it as an example, Mike.
And I'm just saying that most of the times, the cheapest chicken in the supermarket is cheaper than the cheapest dog food.
Yeah, that's saying something.
It's
So you
definitely
could
saying
just
something.
feed your dog chicken.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I
but
tell Mom. I rather, when I'm supplementing, I rather feed them ground hamburger meat or like some kind of meat or liver. I mean, at this dairy, I get liver by the pound for $1. So,
But if you buy that $1 chicken and then feed it to your dogs are going to die.
I don't even feed them the $1 chicken.
She feeds it to me.
I feed it to Alex.
Exactly, that's the point. Feed it to Alex.
No, Alex.
$1 liver.
You can cash in on that inheritance money early.
Yeah, well, listen, Alex gets very high quality meat we buy. So
Hey, Alex.
I'm not buying
Mhm.
$1
I finally
chicken.
found my place in our relationship, in my relationship with my wife. I'm the
Okay.
I'm the 49%.
49%.
Yeah.
Well,
And now that I've realized my position as a 49%, everything is fine. Because before I thought I was a 51%, but it wasn't working.
I think I know what you mean. I got that reference, I think.
Yeah, there's Ariana. Ariana, we're recording a podcast. We got Heroin and Alex and Claudette on, and we're just talking about the 49%.
I don't understand why you think I'm treating Alex bad by like purchasing better quality meat.
I don't think
No,
you're
it's quite
treating him
good.
bad. I'm just talking
He
about
has, like,
women,
a really
the relationship
good job.
between women and men in general. I'm not speaking about you specifically at all.
Yeah, well, it's kind of insulting, and second of all,
You're just
like,
taking it personally, Claudette. I don't want to insult you at all. I'm sorry. I really apologize if you take it personally. I'm not talking about you at all. I'm sorry.
49%. Wow.
So, Claudette, tell me, what have you been buying? Have you been buying good food for Alex and keeping him healthy?
I'm trying to. We experimented with guinea hen tonight, which we did not particularly like.
Oh no!
Let's put it in the backyard.
I did not shoot it in the backyard.
Was it tough?
No, it's kind of in between a duck and a chicken, and it just didn't get. It doesn't have enough fat on it to get crispy like a duck, which makes duck delicious. And I added fat to it, but it just, I don't know. I'm gonna make a stew with the rest of it. You know, with I have some chicken.
Instapot. It sounds like Instapot is in your future.
No, I have an Instapot, and I had something already in the Instapot. It's between a duck and a chicken, so a duck you want crispier. Like, the whole point of it is the skin to be crispy, and the skin didn't get crispy enough.
No.
So I'm gonna throw the rest of it, yes, in the Instapot later. But I already have, we have beef cheeks in the Instapot right now.
Now, did Dad ever tell you, did you ever realize that we had guinea hens at our house?
Yes.
And the neighbors were calling the police on us?
The neighbors called the police on us for many things. We also had dick of neighbors, but
they were going crazy about the guinea hens?
Yeah, they're very loud, but they're also very good for tick prevention, which people in New Jersey should be concerned about.
Yeah.
So, so I was reading more into guinea hens and what kind of nutrition they have, but
I saw.
Yeah, that was it. Sorry, go ahead.
I saw more of my neighbors have contraband chickens.
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to have chickens. I can actually have chickens at my place in Frederick City. We can have up to 5 chickens if you have 2,500 square feet of property.
No roosters.
No roosters. No one likes cocks in the neighborhood.
Well, we're not allowed to have chickens, but they don't enforce it. But if you have a Corona party, then they're going to send the federales in on you.
Well, good. They should.
I looked at the story. It really was a Corona party.
They called it a Corona party.
Yeah, I thought Mike was just making
Did
fun
they
of
have like a Facebook invite that was like, here's our event, Corona party, public?
I think that's what it
That's
sounds
hilarious.
like.
You think they did that?
That's the implication from the news story.
So we
That's
drove to
hilarious.
West Virginia today and turned around.
Is Harry still on the call? Harry, are you still on here?
Oh yeah, I'm still on. I was just listening to the guinea chickens. I would go
You're
for
being polite, huh?
I'm
Have
actually
you ever
eating
heard, have you ever
Say again? Say
have
again?
you tried guinea hen?
I never tried guinea hen, but I was thinking that maybe I should get quail.
For quail eggs?
Yeah, and quail
mean,
meat.
I mean, they're not really like meaty, but
Or
their
pigeons.
eggs are very good.
Pigeons.
Quail eggs is very good.
We have robins and cardinals and blue jays, all types of birds here in the yard.
So you're thinking of eating them all?
Not at all. I'm just happy. I have so many worms. All the birds come and they're getting super fat on all my worms because I've been feeding the worms so much. I'm happy that I have biodiversity in my garden, Claudette.
Yeah, that's great.
You're gonna
So,
eat quail.
you guys say again?
You're gonna eat quail though.
I never tried quail. Is it any good? Claudette was saying it doesn't have a lot of meat.
Well,
It's like a tiny chicken.
But I guess you could just eat the whole thing. You could just put it all in the Instapot and cook it.
Yeah, the point of quail is really their eggs is what they're known for. People don't really eat quail, except they hunt quail because they produce it a lot, but you don't really eat it.
Mm.
So if you're doing it,
So did you guys check out that AOC video that I sent you?
no, we haven't. We were doing a group chat with Alex's mom and stepdad before you guys called.
Well, just check it out and watch her hand movement. Harry sent it to me. He says that she's moving like Fidel Castro.
Oh, no, Alex doesn't even know who this is. AOC.
I don't know.
Remember I showed you the politician, you're like, she's hot.
Sandy. They call her Sandy.
The one from Queens. She's like she's a congresswoman of Queens. I showed you her
She's from
picture.
Central Casting. They put out a casting call for a House of Representatives person, and they cast her into the role.
They did not.
They did. She was casted. She's a waitress, and she responded to a casting call, and they thought that she was a perfect match, so they ran her, and she won. Yeah, look it up on it.
Oh.
It's a conspiracy theory. Look up AOC casting.
Alex is in love with the Finnish prime minister.
Oh yeah, she cute.
She's like 34.
I dated a Finnish girl at one point.
me too.
Did you like death metal? Did you?
Huh? She was a Russian spy.
Of course she was.
Yeah.
I hate it when that
happens.
Yeah.
So, did I? So.
So did you moved out of your apartment? Now you got a house now in Fredericks. Do you miss the apartment?
Yep.
Not right now.
Yeah, not right this second, but in general, non-coronavirus, yes.
Yeah, you really lucked out with that timing, huh?
Yeah, we really did.
Like, I took all my money out of the stock market and put it in a house just before the stock market crashed, and I moved into a lower population density area just before a major pandemic. It was very nice
Awesome.
timing.
Perfect timing, Alex. Good job, man.
It's pure luck, but yeah, it was nice.
Now, if I could just convince you to start your garden. Hey, again.
No.
I'm on the phone now. Well, then turn it off. I'm done. I'm on the phone. If I could just convince you to start a garden.
We already started a garden in DC, and I ordered herbs and lettuce seeds on Amazon, and they arrived the other day, so I need to plant them.
Awesome. Now, there's 5 plants that you want to plant in your garden that are super, super fast growing, okay? You ready? Radishes are the fastest growing plant you can get. Like, they will produce food within like 4 weeks. Anyone there? Did I lose y'all?
Well, I don't know. I think they kind of went silent.
So the next plant you want to get is bok choy, Swiss chard, and rugula, or aka rocket. Those and mustard. Those are the plants that will grow super fast and be very productive in the shortest period of time. All right. So Harry, you want to tell us a little bit about what's happening over in the old country with your ex-prime minister, Mr. Bean?
Oh man, it's crazy out there. I guess he lied to the U.S. emissary. Flat out.
Did he lie to the embassy, or did he lie to the parliament, or both?
Basically, to the guy that the U.S. sent to talk to him, basically, you know? Because he was like, oh, I'll do this thing, and he never really did it. It was like a old school deflection, and then he started talking shit about him at the parliament meeting. But then, like, there was some interviews where they called the guy, and they're like, yeah, well, it didn't go down like that.
But so this is all about the tax of the tariffs, the 100% tariffs on Serbian products.
Yep.
But he did remove them in the end, right?
I guess he did, but not exactly.
No.
No. Like,
so are they removed?
not
or
like
not?
to the terms that it was going to get done, you know? So they had to like take him off the government. He basically like he had to remove it, or the government would end if that, you know, didn't happen. So it's like it was like one of those situations when you go to a bar fight and there's that guy that wants to start a fight by saying, what you looking at, to the, you know, to the first guy that he sees. So it's like that kind of situation. Like, he basically had the terms to keep the coalition going, but he just broke all the terms, and then basically like made everything happen like that. But then he tried to pin everything on the other parties. And then he started saying
Hmm.
that they tried to overthrow his government and he had proof, but the hard drive got lost.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. So
The
like
check is in the mail.
they're all conspiring against me.
I've got proof, but it's on my hard drive. I can't find it.
Yeah, but the hard drive is lost. And then he tried to like basically breach some security meeting that's like top secret stuff between like the US and Kosovo. That's like
He wanted to publish
security
that.
stuff. Yeah, that nobody's
Yeah.
like nobody's supposed to talk about. You know, like those meetings they had even years before, like the politicians that were in power, they aren't supposed to talk about it either. It's like confidential
Sure.
information. They
Yeah.
can't leak because it's like sensitive to
Well,
the
politicians
whole
have to do
region and
sensitive stuff all
everything.
the time. They have sensitive stuff all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But like he was trying to leak that, but then if he leaks that, that would just land him in jail, like for no reason.
Yeah.
So it's like it just self-destructed.
Okay.
And considering this party, like this guy's party had only 26% of the votes in the entire country.
Yeah.
But he was trying to, take shit over with 26%, but it didn't work out, man, because, people don't eat grass. They might burn it and inhale it,
Hmm.
but
Oh
they don't
no.
eat it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Claudette
Harry.
dropped, huh?
I think she dropped out. I'm not sure. She says she's still there. Claudette, say something. Not online. You dropped?
It dropped.
Oh well. At least they joined for a little bit. So Harriet, I have to give you some feedback. And
Go
I do
on.
appreciate your Kosovo. I do appreciate your inputs about Kosovo and telling us what's going on. But your explanations are not, they're a little bit confusing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like someone who
'Cause-
doesn't know anything about it, then you're not giving enough background information so that people will understand it.
yeah, I gotta give
Like you
more
gotta
background info on this stuff. Cause
you gotta
like
explain things to me, man. You gotta explain it so everyone can
I'll
understand.
not explain it, but
You don't explain it.
explain it.
Explain it. Just explain it. Make it plain.
Well, explaining it plainly,
Yeah.
he caused the government to self-destruct because he didn't just hold on to the requirements that were actually part of the initial agreement.
Okay, but nobody knows what the initial agreement was. So first of all, you got to explain to people that the government of Kosovo, it's not like the United States,
Yeah, it's a
and that
republic.
the prime minister is selected by the parliament, and the parliament, they've got like 20 different parties in it. It's like the Italian system where all these different parties, they form coalitions and they select their prime minister, and they can get rid of him at any time if they're pissed off. and he pissed off one of his coalition partners, and they dropped him, right?
Well, he didn't piss off only one of his coalition partners, but he basically did a series of different things that caused the whole, thing to fall off. Like, first, before going into the coalition, they had an agreement to take off this tax. That's like 100% tax on all the Serbian goods,
A
which is
tariff, yeah.
also bad for the Kosovo economy because people don't get like basic things that they were buying from the neighboring country
Yeah, because
due to this
and
whole
Kosovo used to be part of Serbia, and
movement.
they still have to get. Hey, Gent, stop that. Gent, I see what you're doing. You're sitting on the dog. Stop sitting on the dog. Gent, stop sitting on the dog. So basically, they need their plasma cakes. They need their plasma cookies from Serbia, and their strudels.
Well, it's
And
not
what else?
only that. There's
And the
like
ageta chicken pasteta.
and their Coke.
And what else do they need from Serbia? Their Coke.
I
Coca-Cola.
think they get their Coke from there too, and like basically almost everything, like even their pasta,
Yeah.
the
And
drink,
their Microsoft products.
their Microsoft products, even the mail goes through there before coming
Oh,
over.
what?
Even the mail, like some of the mail.
Yeah, and probably all the telecommunication lines.
I think they moved that like to their own, like with the
Yeah.
internet and stuff, because that's owned by the company.
Yeah, the company. Or friends of the company.
Yeah, and or friends of the company.
Is that like the
Company and
government?
Co.
The company is a code word for the CIA, and basically, Kosovo was the government. The telecommunications is run by Madeleine Albright, who was the foreign minister under Bill Clinton, who saved Kosovo from the Serbs, and then installed all of his people to run the country afterwards.
Yeah, but now Trump, like, he just sent this guy, forgot his name,
Yeah, whatever his name is.
and he like went there, and he's not even working with the politics anymore. He said, "I'm just gonna work with the economy there."
Yeah, he just
And-
wants to build a Trump Tower in. They just want to build a Trump Tower in Przewowice or something in the mountains, the ski resort.
Yeah, exactly. But then Kurti was like, he was like, "I'm not gonna work with you guys at all.
Yeah.
I don't want the economy to get better."
Well, the communists, they don't want a free economy. They have to run the whole thing. They think that the government is the best place to run the economy.
Yeah, basically. And they think that like the whole idea with Vendosia is that they're saying that everybody who's not them is going to steal the money from the people and is going to be corrupt.
Yeah.
But they're the
And
only
they
ones
think that
who are not corrupt.
they think they're the only ones who are allowed to steal the money from the people and be corrupt.
Yeah, it's not called stealing for them though.
No, it's different. It's liberating.
It's liberating the public funds.
Yes, they have to liberate the public funds from the evil, corrupt people and then spend them on their friends.
Yeah, it's like the basic idea of Marxism. like if you go on Wikipedia and
Mhm.
read about Marxism, the schools of thought broadly include Marxism and anarchism, especially anarcho-communism.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and these like political ideas are usually like grouped together, and the main like thing about
Are you
it
saying
is,
that anarchism is related to communism?
well, that's what Wikipedia says.
Really? I never heard that before.
When you write communism on the second paragraph, I'm just going to read it. It says communism includes a variety of schools of thought, which broadly include Marxism and anarchism, especially anarcho-communism, as well as
Wow.
political ideologies grouped around. All of these share the analysis that the current order of society stems from its economic system and the mode of production. So,
Hmm.
capitalism. That in this
So
system, there are two major social classes that conflict between each other. So, the
yes,
two
the
classes.
capitalist and the proletariat. Yeah.
Yeah, so the proletariat and the bourgeoisie,
Yeah. Which is
or
the
the
dialectic.
capitalist.
Yeah, this is the dialectic, the fight between the two. The
So,
haves
like
and
the
the have-nots.
1% and the 99, you can call that. But the
Yeah.
thing is, this political ideology basically presumes that you can't move in between these classes
Hmm. You're stuck.
because capitalism is evil and you can never make $1 million.
Yeah.
So, in order to fix that, according to this analysis, I'm just going to move along. The revolution would put the working class in power and in turn establish social ownership of the means of production, which is the primary element in the transformation of the society towards communism. So it means that,
Which is exactly what Trump is doing right now.
yeah, like
That's exactly what Trump is doing.
take down whoever is like in power, and
Hmm.
then bring
Well,
up other people.
they want to take the social control over all the companies and overthrow the capitalists and force them to produce ventilators and whatever else. They have this big laundry list of things they want. But basically, they want to take over all of the companies.
That's interesting. And then profit or steal underpants.
You got to listen to Peter Schiff's radio.
Peter shit.
SCHIFF. I'll put a link in the chat.
So you're saying Mr. Pudas is trying to instill communism. Maybe it's happening worldwide. Wow, we even have one viewer.
You
Y'all
sure that's
still
not
there?
me? Yeah, we're still here. We have one viewer that's not us.
Well, I don't. Are we? Is anybody viewing the video, watching it, or no?
I don't think out. No, we're not.
So we have
No,
a.
you have one viewer. Wow. So Peter Schiff Radio, Schiff SCH
Schiff.
SCHIFF radio.com. He's basically holding up the theory. He said that Donald Trump should change to the Democratic Party because basically he's implementing all of the Democratic and Bernie Sanders ideals of, forgiving all the student debt and printing enough money to take over all the companies. The government is competing directly with the companies and the states for these ventilators, and basically they're printing money at an unlimited rate and then outbidding everybody. They're like, oh yeah, we'll bid more because we're just going to print more money out of thin air. And they're going to forgive student debt, and they're going to give everyone money and just keep on printing money until basically his theory is that, they're implementing the social takeover of the capitalist system.
What I'd really like to know, how is China communist? From what I've read, they seem more capitalist than we are, just more authoritarian.
Well,
that's communism.
So it was Nixon. Nixon went over there, and Bush Sr. went over there to influence them back in the 40s and the 70s. But they're definitely run by a communist party, and it's a one-party government.
Sure, but how does it manifest itself economically? Like they have plenty of.
Sorry.
But how does that manifest itself economically? They have tons of income inequality. They have like free trade. They have they have less. Trade.
I don't think they have free trade. They don't have free trade. Like if you want to
free trade.
If you want to sell a product in China, you have to pay large amounts to like people to like grease the wheels. It costs you about $1 million.
They're always like,
We looked into it. We wanted to sell our product in China, and it cost like, I don't know, $100,000 registration fee per product. But you can't bring your products into China. Only Chinese can send their products here, but they won't let you bring anything into them.
Well, that's their business scheme.
Yeah.
Also, if they find out your formula, they can make it there and sell it anywhere, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they say to the companies, if you want to sell it here, then you have to produce it here, and then you have to hire our people to reverse engineer it.
This is like tariffs.
It's like a tariff?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Basically tariffs, yeah. It's not free trade, though, so I would just disagree that it's a free trade.
So they can all, at least internally, start businesses as they like and copy each other. They don't even have like copyright, right? They can do pretty much anything they want, including on the stock market, right? I thought they don't have the equivalent of an SEC. They have much more lax regulations on how they trade stocks. So they seem more capitalist than we are, except maybe with regards to their equivalent of tariffs.
Okay. I mean, so we have to distinguish between a liberal market and let's say anarchy and capitalism. I mean, capitalism is really about the ownership principle, like property rights, and property rights are not being upheld in China, is what you're saying. Like, you don't have property. You don't own the rights to your thing.
It's all owned by the people.
Yeah, if it's just anarchy and everyone can take it and do whatever they want with it, then that's not really an ownership or property of one person.
Then how do rich Chinese businessmen become rich Chinese businessmen?
I really don't know enough about it, Alex. I mean, I can only guess.
Everything I know from hearsay about China in practice seems to contradict the notion that they're communist. Except maybe.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but they definitely found a way to make money, and they're more open to commerce than other, let's say, communist countries. Let's say Cuba or North Korea or something. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could read books and books and books about this, and there's probably like whole fields of study on this topic that I don't know about.
We could check.
But it's not your run of. Yeah, but China is not your run-of-the-mill average communist country, right? It's something special. It's its own thing, right?
Yeah.
They do not follow the rules of other people.
Yeah.
Right? They're doing their thing, whatever it is, and they don't listen to anybody.
Yeah, but the regime is still communist, so
For us.
it's all controlled by the state. Although there's so much stuff that it's hard to control. Basically, what I think.
I mean, they're not doing what Russia did with the 5-year plans and stuff like that, I don't think. Or do they have a 5-year plan? Harry, consult the book of knowledge and let's find out, what is the economics of China?
Well, this Wikipedia article is huge. And it says that China exports about 2.5 trillion. Well, it exported 2.5 trillion just this past year.
Before it got the Rona. Before it got the Rona.
Yeah, now it's got 1.15. No, it's from 2017. Wikipedia doesn't have any recent developments. Huh. So I guess it got an economic reform back in 1978.
That was Nixon. Mr. Nixon.
Yep. And they adopted these 5-year plans that you talked about.
When did they adopt them?
That's when they adopted them, in 1978. To guide economic development, the Chinese central government adopts 5-year plans that so a 5-year plan is a series of social and economic development initiatives issued since 1953 in People's Republic of China. Since 1949, Communist Party of China has shaped the economy of China through the plenary sessions of the Central Committee and the National Congress. So basically, everything has to go through the Central Committee and the National Congress to go through and out.
But do they decide how many eggs people need and how many socks?
Well,
in Russia, the communists were trying to figure out how many socks to deliver to each city.
It's saying citation needed. That's kind of vague. So I just clicked on the 5-year plan. Planning is a key characteristic of social economies, blah, blah, blah. They got the first plan. The key tasks of the first plan are concentrate efforts on construction of 694 large and medium-sized industrial projects, including 156 with the aid of the Soviet Union. Lay out the primary foundations for China's socialist industrialization. develop agricultural procedures, cooperatives to help in the socialist transformation of agriculture and handicraft industries, put capitalist industry and commerce on the track of state capitalism. So they're calling it state capitalism now.
Mm.
Facilitate the socialist transformation of private industry and commerce. So that's like when they first started turning private industry to, state owned
Yeah.
everything. And then there's
But that's what they're doing now. That's what they're doing now with the bailouts. That they're trying to implement all types of rules and say, oh, if you take this money, first we're going to create the crisis on you. We're going to force you back you in the corner, and now in order for you to get out, you have to adopt all these rules, which I was told on the No Agenda show that those amount to basically the Green New Deal from AOC and friends, that they're basically implementing all of these Green New Deal constraints on the companies in order to take the bailout money.
Hmm.
So they're basically implementing their the communist takeover of America through the Zulu X-ray.
Wow.
I don't know. What did we get off topic on? The Zulu X-ray? What?
Zulu X-ray is if you take the letter CV and you shift left on your keyboard, the C becomes the Z and the V becomes the X. So we don't say coronavirus, we say Zulu X-ray, so we don't get taken down by the algos.
Oh.
But you just said it.
Yeah. We don't say MK Ultra, we say New Jersey.
Why don't you just say, why don't you give us a Cliff Notes, like a list of acronyms that you use?
Or text it to us.
Yeah, or text it to us.
Yeah, we have to do that. We'll have to come up with a code list.
But, like, how would your viewers know what the hell you're talking about? They'll just think you're bashing.
We don't have any viewers, that's the thing. We have actually zero viewers.
That's your first problem.
Huh?
Yeah, the thing
If you
is,
get more,
the
if you get viewers,
the viewers have to listen to all the streams to understand what's going on. But we got one viewer.
Including the deleted ones. Including the deleted ones. No, I've got my cable. Yeah, we don't have yeah, we'll explain it to you, Claudette. We'll explain everything. No problem. We'll let you in on the secret. So basically, you shift left. So IBM becomes HAL. HAL. And
Okay.
coronavirus. Huh?
so, okay.
You never knew that?
On the keyboard. You just shift your fingers on the keyboard to the left.
Yeah, no, I've been,
Oh, no, that's one letter down in the alphabet for IBM, right? One letter up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I-J.
He's actually checking. See, Alex, you're actually checking what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, we're checking the QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. IBM HAL. Yes, you're right. IBM becomes HAL when you shift left in the alphabet and not on the keyboard.
oh my God.
That's for the movie 2001: Space Odyssey.
Well, I could not pick up. It seems like it takes a long time for that movie to pick up.
But MK Ultra becomes New Jersey. MK becomes New Jersey. NJ. So we don't call it MK Ultra. We just say Trenton. So Trenton is the code word for MK Ultra. We just say Trenton Mental Hospital, for example. That means MK Ultra.
Whoa.
And Nancy, turn that down. And then we have some other ones we were working on, which I forgot.
Well, we had what was that Clay Cowboy's name? What was the horse's name?
Oh yeah, the Cowboys. Yes. Oh, you're right. So we also we're introducing the rhyming slang.
The Cockney.
So instead of the Cockney rhyming slang, you ever hear of that, Claudette?
No.
Like in the movie Snatch. Basically, for example, face rhymes with race.
Gotcha.
So you drop and you say boat
you're
race.
talking like the gypsy speak.
Yes, the Cockney rhyming slang. So instead of saying face, you say boat, because boat is the hidden word. So it's boat race, rhymes with face, but you drop race and face, and you just say boat.
Yeah,
so you could say
crap.
You could say nice boat, which means nice face. And
Gotcha.
the secret word, Harry, to try to remember.
So do you post any of this on like Twitter or like where do you you're not getting any followers?
No, we have no followers because we're being blacklisted and banned by the algos.
Shadow ban.
We're shadow banned.
Shadow. Hate that.
We're talking about the forbidden topics.
Interesting.
But we came up with the worldwide conspiracy theory. I can explain that to you real quick.
Okay.
The ultimate theory of life, the universe, and everything. Did you hear that one yet?
Quick.
I'll give you the skinny. So basically, all of life on Earth was created by an intergalactic fungus that basically spreads out between the planets.
Oh, we're talking about Mormonism again?
No, this is
My
just
friend,
this is the fungus theory.
Okay.
hold on.
Basically, the fungus created all life on all the different planets so it could have something to eat. And it needed agents that were faster than it, so it created humans. And then the humans created the computers, so it could be fed more efficiently. So our whole purpose in life is just basically to feed the fungus, which is the feed the fungus is the mantra of our podcast, actually, the theme song.
Gotcha.
Harry, do you want to play the theme song?
Oh, sure. Let me find it. Is it this one? Oh, yeah. Do you want to hear?
Let's hear it.
Feed the fungus. Feed the fungus. Feed the fungus.
There you go.
You like the band?
Now, don't everyone clap at the same time. That'll mess up our sound system.
There's definitely some businesses not hurting in this, especially people who do make a living from YouTube and podcasts and like online fitness coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah. Even our jiu-jitsu, they're like, no, you can't cancel. We're going to give you online courses.
Yeah, I've been remote working. It's been pretty sweet. I think I get to remote work till like April 30th, which will be great. I'm pretty excited about not having to commute.
Maybe they're trying to move everybody to remote work.
Yeah. Alex is remote working too, so it's pretty good. I was actually telling Alex back in January, I was like, let's get an Airstream trailer so we could just work remotely. I was kind of, preparing. I wanted to be we could have just gotten in our trailer, drove off. But the problem is, if you're trying to do that though during this time, it's kind of hard to still isolate yourself if you don't have food. So if you don't have like an address.
And what about the internet? How are you going to get internet in your Airstream?
Well, we use our phones as mobile hotspots as it is, but you can get better mobile hotspots. We've looked into this, like global. Right, Alex?
So you're actually working from home using your mobile hotspot, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
We say screw the man and internet. I think
That's
it's
amazing.
the biggest waste. Yeah. I came up with this actually back when we moved to DC, because we were at our last apartment in Columbia, Maryland, paying for internet that always shit out on us. So it was so bad. It was Comcast, I think.
Yeah.
So Alex started using hotspot on his phone.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah, it's not worse than paying for internet.
Mom's also just on her hotspot at home. I got her all set up. She's watching Netflix on her hotspot.
yeah, I was the one that told Mom about that in the first place.
There's no reason to pay cable companies anymore.
So that's
Yeah, I
great.
think that's actually. I think that's one thing that's probably going to become obsolete is actually having internet companies. The only crappy thing is all these new, like I actually prefer tech that is dumbed down. So like we had a Roomba that didn't have any Wi-Fi on it. It was great. You could just program it on the actual Roomba robot. It was great. Now we have one that's like, you have to in order to set off and program it to set off every day, you have to have internet and Wi-Fi. So, I have a sous vide that would run off of Wi-Fi. I figured out how to get that to work without having Wi-Fi. I had to tether to Alex's phone off of my mobile hotspot using his mobile hotspot as Wi-Fi. So we had to do that.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
Go to Amazon and get the GLINet $30 Linux-based micro internet router.
Okay. Can you send that to me?
Yeah, just type in GLINet, GLINET. It's a $30 Linux-based OpenWRT router on Amazon, and you can plug your phone into it. You can tether it with your phone, and then you can share that in the whole house. It acts as it's got plugs for Ethernet devices. It can do ad blocking. It can do
Send me a link
torrent.
to that. I missed it.
It can do video sharing. It can also do video cam streaming. It can do basically anything you could ever think of.
Okay.
I'll put a link in the chat. Hold on.
Sounds good. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
But now that China's gone down because of the Rona, I don't know if you can get any of them anymore. You might want to buy one real quick.
I mean,
it's $20. It's $20 on AliExpress.
Alibaba.
Yeah. AliExpress. Ever hear of that?
Yes.
So you can get them on Amazon.
So as soon as I heard the stock market's crashing, I started investing more in my 401k, actually buying up, putting a bigger percentage in. Yeah. So I figured I'm just gonna invest more now while it's cheaper.
Yeah. I started buying silver coins and gold coins.
I already have those. But I'm
Here,
serious.
I put a link in the chat.
I've actually been looking. I've been trading a little bit in Robinhood too.
Oh yeah.
I've actually
I heard they had multiple outages where people weren't able to sell for days when the stocks were dropping. They were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't sell right now. Our systems are down."
Yeah, well, I haven't had any issues like that, but no, now's the time to invest in like VTI and some of the things that traditionally, I mean, they're really low. They're going to go back
But
up.
BTI,
Vanguard, it's like a Vanguard index fund.
okay. Well, I've been listening to Peter Schiff, and he said don't buy any index funds. Buy gold, silver, and gold stock.
I did make 25% off of my Ford purchase because I was reading in the news that they were, going to be building ventilators, and their stock is pretty cheap, so I bought a ton of it and then sold it the next day for 25% profit. But I'll listen to.
Yeah, sure. If you're gonna flip it, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying some of these stocks have an 8% return, like on average, and they all dip down like this. I mean, we had a similar thing when I chose to went to school back in 2009. Like, I mean, there's always times it's gonna, and if you're young and you can wait it out and you don't need the money, then invest it.
Sure.
I don't really see the problem with that. This looks.
Well, to be honest with you, my investments are my garden, my wife's business, and that's basically it right now.
You need some chickens, man.
Some chickens. Yeah, I need to invest in some chickens.
Okay.
If you invest chickens, cows, you can actually see your investment and it grows. Like, imagine chickens, if you don't kill them, they, like, eggs literally come out of their asses. Like, literally.
I know
you
that.
get a free egg.
I also know someone who was house poor. They bought a house, it's a fixer-upper, and they invested in chickens for $500 they spent on building a coop, and they bought chickens, and every single one of them got killed. So I don't think so. Chickens aren't the best return ROI. And
Is that your friend?
No, my friend.
Is that your
also
friend, the girl?
I had another friend who has a lot of livestock experience and went on. She was talking about guinea hens with me today. She had 18 guinea hens, and they went away one weekend, and they all got killed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's an issue. You can't really.
I also
leave them alone.
just bought an eighth of a cow for my freezer. So,
Do you know what a whole cow costs on the future market in the Boston, in the Chicago Board Mercantile Exchange?
No.
It's like $180.
That's not enough. That seems really wrong. And you know what? Just feedlot cows are so subsidized by the U.S. government. I could probably see it just costing like $100 or whatever. It's ridiculous.
It's just crazy. And by the time it gets to you, you're paying like $7, like $20 a pound for like a one cut.
I don't mind paying more money for a good quality piece of meat. But what you're paying for is feedlot garbage cows.
Yeah, those are just feedlot.
And
feedlot cows. If you're talking about the Chicago Board.
But 80% of grass-fed cows are imported. You know that the USDA you don't even have to like raise that cow in the United States or pig. You know how your fruit says where it's from on it? As long as it's carved up in the United States, they can slap a USDA sticker on. So that's why.
But you're not allowed to even import any meat from outside the country.
Can too.
Like, you can't bring meat in from.
No, these big companies that are doing grass-fed cows, they are so allowed to bring it in.
There's the New Zealand stuff.
That's interesting. I never heard that before.
Butcherbox. Go ahead.
There's this company called Open Nature. They bring this New Zealand beef that's grass-fed, and they got lamb too.
Yeah.
But I don't know
a story about that. I have a story about the lamb.
So let me finish with
Wait,
that.
wait. Let me just tell you the story about the lamb. Real quick, one sentence. They have these ships with live lamb on them. And they keep the lamb alive on the ship all the way from New Zealand to America. And it stinks so bad that like 2 or 3 miles behind the ship, it's like a massive stench of lamb.
Right. But Mike, what I'm trying to tell you is,
I'm listening.
I found farmers in the United States that you can get this from.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't need, like, I've been doing a lot of research in it. There's things called, like, regenerative agriculture. There's really great programs around here.
Okay.
And one of the things that gets me mad is when you're, like, shipping and importing produce and animals from all over the world. And that's really
Me?
what the whole...
Like me personally?
No, well, I mean, what you're buying is actually coming from all over the world, like your rice and your beans, for example. I mean, where do you think that comes from? Now, I know you're growing your own vegetables, but I'm saying is, I'm trying to, like...
You mean like when I go to the farmer's market or what?
No, you're on a rice and bean kick right now. You've said that in every podcast, probably. I'm saying in general,
Yeah,
most people...
I've been doing rice and beans.
So I'm saying that is coming from far away. So I'm just saying... Anyways, let me go back to what I was trying to tell you. I was trying to educate you on, you know, the grass-fed meat movement was, you know, a lot of times people think they're getting this and it's great and everything, and you get it in the stores, and it's most of the time coming from like Argentina or New Zealand, and you're right. Sometimes they're transporting live animals on these ships and stuff, but a lot of times they're just bringing their carcasses over too. And all they have to do is process them over here, and they get a USDA sticker on them. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Well, that's new. You're dropping knowledge on me now.
Yeah.
Because I never heard this before. I didn't know.
Yeah, I've been doing. It's called greenwashing or something like that. But so, anyways.
Very interesting.
I don't mind, and the average farmer in the United States can't compete against your supermarkets. They don't get any subsidizations when they're not feeding corn and soy. So that's why it costs more money for farmers to raise a cow in the United States, or even sheep or other animals, because it costs more money for them. They're not getting subsidized by the government. So I don't mind paying.
But when do they get subsidy? When they use corn and soy, they get subsidies?
Yeah, because the government we grow so much corn and soy in this country. We put it in everything. Everything. And we make cheap, terrible oils that cause inflammation and horrible things. You can't even go to the store and buy, like, salad dressing that doesn't have some kind of soy oil in it or canola oil. And what the hell is canola? That's my question.
Well, I think I've had canola. I think I've seen the canola. I think it's called... I actually picked canola plants before. They're called Raps in German. I'm pretty sure... let me check that.
So, anyways, I'm a little bit more passionate about it now that I'm learning a lot more about it. But I just get mad when people demonize eating meat and saying it's bad for the environment, when meanwhile there are practices we can do that are good for the environment, especially our local economy. That's all. I don't know if Harid's has any thoughts on that.
Yeah, basically, meat is the best thing that you could be eating, and everybody needs it. And there is this whole conspiracy maybe about people having to go vegan and all this stuff, because like most of the supermarkets, they're already like
yeah,
they're vegan.
Seed. It's called rapeseed. It's a member of the mustard or cabbage family, and canola is a group of rapeseed cultivars. Yeah, I've collected these plants and I've eaten them fresh before. But
okay. What was Harid saying?
So
you're on the West Coast,
saying there's a
right?
vegan conspiracy.
No, you're on the West Coast, right? You're in California, and like they
like
hate
on the West
there.
Coast. Yeah, exactly. Like there's so many vegans out here, literally,
I
and
know.
they don't know that like it's actually worse for the environment, that what they're eating is worse, because like they're usually like in really bad shape, because they try and avoid actual food over
It's
everything.
all it's all processed crap.
Yeah, like if you go to the stores, let me tell you, 80% of the store is just processed plant-based kibble stuff.
Yeah, it's like goop. And you
Yeah, it's
have
like
like people like
grain.
Bill Gates, and you have people like the guy who founded Snapchat. I guess he's married to Venus or Serena Williams. Um, and he's like, I'm going vegan for my health and stuff. And it's like, when they do these studies, they're always demonizing meat, but it's all epidemiology studies, and these people are also eating processed bread and potato chips and having everything in corn oil. They're not demonizing any of those items, but they're demonizing the meat of it. I think it's I also think that there's got to be something that, like, health wise, like all these big pharma companies, they're making so much money off of putting people on high blood pressure, your
Yeah,
statins, and
like
your
it's a huge conspiracy. There's
diabetes
also like this stuff
and
about
Alzheimer's.
raw meat being bad and bacteria being bad for you. Like I've been eating raw meat since a year. I even eat
Yeah,
chicken raw. And I've been doing way better, like health wise, way better than ever in my life. And
yeah,
I actually grew up like eating USAID foods. Like my own mom, she died from margarine basically. Cause like if you eat these plant oils, they're not fats.
right,
So you eat them and you like heat them up, they turn into solids once they get into your body.
right.
So they turn into basically what's called cellulite. And your body, like, it can't get rid of them that easy. You need to like take like lymph baths and all this stuff. Like I've been taking baths with like raw milk
Hmm.
and like coconuts or like pineapple and stuff to just like pull out all the toxins. But the thing is, the whole medical profession, it's basically based on epidemiological studies, and those
Correct.
are biased and they're not
Oh
correct
yeah.
at all. So
Did you know that the food pyramid was one of the founding members of a nutritionist that was on like the panel for the food pyramid was a member of the Kellogg cereal company family, and they are actually like they're part of some vegetarian vegan.
oh yeah, the Seventh Day Adventists.
Yeah. And so they were on the board at Harvard back in the day. And, and they're like it was, so there's a lot of biasm,
Yeah,
but the biggest
Nancy Reagan and the Seventh Day Adventists. That's like
right.
a whole, like Nancy Reagan, she was like people should eat more cereal because it'll take men's urge to masturbate and it'll make people more docile.
Yeah,
So that
because
was like
testosterone is terrible for you from eating meat.
the original reason.
Huh.
They wanted people to become good Christians and not,
Yeah.
yeah, because like they said that meat makes people aggressive, but it's actually it matters that the opposite is true, literally. Like if you go on YouTube and type in like vegan compilations, there's like all these angry vegans that start losing it after having cholesterol deficiencies. And there's these
Yeah, that's
studies.
the biggest thing. cholesterol being demonized, and
Yeah,
how
exactly.
these doctors put they put them on statins, and they wonder why there's more people with Alzheimer's issues, because your brain is full of cholesterol. It's like your brain actually needs cholesterol to function. And so
Yeah,
then they put people on statins and things to like lower their cholesterol, and that's messing up that's just causing inflammation in the body. It's just really messed up the more I learn. And you know, like a couple years ago, I was working with a nutritionist, and she's like, "Oh, you need to eat more carbohydrates to lose weight." Let me tell you, I gained so much weight trying to hit these macronutrients, or the, you know, like the increased carbohydrates. And I was going to the gym like every day, and I felt like crap, absolute crap. And you know, I was also on a kick one time where I was trying to save money. I was just eating lots of beans and rice and tofu. I felt like absolute crap, and I was so depressed. And it was just my work, everything. I didn't have mental clarity. It was bad. So I just get, that's why I'm just more passionate about it, because like right now I've been, you know, dropping like body fat percentage and putting lean muscle mass on, and like I've been tracking with like DEXA scans and like and keeping my blood and looking at my blood work, and you know, just monitoring that, because everyone's telling me, oh, you're gonna have bad cholesterol and all this other crap, and I'm like, well, in fact, everything's great, you know. So, anyways, I can go
yeah,
on a
that
rant
makes
all
sense.
day.
I know exactly what you mean, because like I started this I got this book by this guy called Augenus Wonderplanets,
Hmm.
and it's called We Want to Live. And it's about like this guy's health journey, and I guess he used to be a vegan and a vegetarian and everything, but he started this raw foods diet, like I think in the 90s or something.
Hmm.
And it basically promotes low carb, no grains, because grains are bad and inflammatory, and it's basically keto. And it took me like, I studied it for like 2 years, and then a year later I started feeding my dog that I had like raw meat, and then she was like really healthy from it.
Yeah.
Like when I would give her liver, like her eyes, like her pupils would literally dilate, like from eating
Yeah,
raw liver.
liver is full of vitamin A and other vitamins.
Yeah,
Well,
and like the
that's
thing
the
is,
thing.
like cooking it does, like it still loses some like nutrients and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I started feeding my dog raw, I tried raw myself one day. I just ate a steak, and then like it was like, I don't know, it was like an energy boost. Like,
You should check out the Strong Sisters on YouTube. They're pretty good.
oh, I've seen those actually.
Yeah.
Are they doing like the carnivore diet?
Yeah, they do the carnivore diet. They're very nose to tail. They eat a lot of raw meat and suet, not all the time. Dr. Paul Saladino also does the same, similar. But I'm not. I don't really have. I'm not doing like I mean, I eat vegetables and stuff. I don't like. I just don't eat as much as I used to. I try to fill up on meat first, so it's more of a garnish for me. But I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
that's the thing. I went carnivore like fully, and then I realized that I need some like plants, and now I
Yeah,
just do like fruit and veggie juices, but all raw.
yeah. There's some things that are way better for you, I think, and less like Alex's dad has bad kidney stones, and I look at his diet and I'm like, geez, you know, from what he's eating. But I will say that since Alex and I have been eating a lot more protein, Alex had a lot of hair loss, and it's actually grown back a lot. And my hair has gotten really long in a quick period of time. So I will say there's some benefits too from that, from increasing protein. But one of the things I learned was a lot of these minerals and vitamins that people think they're getting, they're not actually getting, because they don't have enough fat to actually absorb. A lot of things are fat soluble.
Yeah,
might,
exactly. Like you need to eat fat with like an orange or
right, exactly. So people who your people get, and people who are often vegan or vegetarian, they tend to feel great within the first couple months or even a year. It takes about 2 years to be completely deficient of vitamin B12, and you have to supplement for it, but there's really no proteins that are actually, like, there's no complete non-animal product B12 out there. So there's a lot of things that people, they feel great at first because they're eliminating a lot of processed food and a lot of crap that they might be eating in their, their regular diet, and they feel good, they have energy, but then over time it depletes. So that's something. And I always wonder if people who wanted to eat more plant-based but consumed like shellfish and like scallops and eggs, like I feel like you could get a lot of nutrition from that, but people are so anti, like they're just extremes,
yeah,
like,
they attribute it to like the plants, where it's actually the meat that's giving them nutrition when they need it.
right. So I've just, like I said, I've been doing a lot of research into it, and yeah.
I see, like I'm like on the same kind of research because I've been on this like health kick since like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
'Cause I used to have like really bad like acid reflux and stuff.
Yeah, that's something they said this helped out with a lot. A lot of, also what made me mad was I have a friend who has this pain syndrome, and she's like very she has all this pain. It's like a phantom pain syndrome. I don't know what it's called. And I told her when she got it, I was like, you should really try an anti-inflammatory diet because, you probably have a lot of, autoimmune issues, and just look into it. And she said, oh, no, I'm going to wait till I talk to my nutritionist or whatever. And this person puts her on this like anti-red meat, high bean and rice diet. And she's like, oh, I'm feeling great. I'm like, yeah, are you eliminating pasta and a lot of the other stuff that you're eating? Because she's attributing it to she's eliminating the beef from her diet. Meanwhile, she hardly ate that much beef, but she ate a lot of pasta and bread, and she's also eliminated this. But she contributes her like feeling better to the meat, eliminating the meat, and doesn't correlate the other items that she's eliminated. And it kind of it just made me like, I was like, shows this person is a nutritionist and she's pushing like an anti-meat diet as anti-inflammatory, but meanwhile she's recommending all these inflammatory grains. I don't understand, but that person has a PhD and I don't. So
Yeah, it's a problem with academia. They're like just following these epidemiological studies.
yeah.
I'm gonna try and mute Mike because I think he's
I think he's snoring. I think we put him to sleep.
that's what it sounds like.
Well, he falls asleep so easily after he eats. And I keep telling him it's his insulin. And, when you eat heavy meals like that, or even anything that's super carby, your insulin levels are gonna spike, and then you're gonna like just crash. And that's what he does all the time.
Yeah, it's like a crash.
Yeah.
I get it. I've seen it in
And
real
my
life.
mom, right. So, and he was always telling my mom and I we're like gonna have high cholesterol and our blood pressure is gonna be high, or and both of us have improved. My mom's doing is doing a more of a keto diet, and I just shipped her some cod liver oil and some herring. I'm trying to get her to eat more fish. She doesn't really eat a whole lot of fish, but she's still on all those medications. like statin and stuff. And I'm like, it really upsets me because I can tell that her memory is not as good as it used to be. You know, just concerning.
Yeah, it's not as clear. I think like on raw fish, it helps a
Yeah.
lot, like with detoxing the brain. I recently quit smoking, and like
That's
I've been
great.
detoxing like crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just eating mad like fish and scallops.
Yeah, I've been stocking up over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I just had this feeling that things was going to like it was going to get bad. So I had been stocking up on meat and canned fish. So like I said, I'm pretty well stocked up. I actually took inventory of my freezer, and I have like an order of meat coming next week from this farm in Georgia. And the end of April, I have an eighth of a cow coming. So pretty stocked up, but I think Alex just went to bed.
All right, I guess the stream is ending soon, but like the thing is, you can never have enough meat. Try drying it. I've been drying it on plates, and then just putting it in jars with olive oil.
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, I even put a video on YouTube on it, but it's from this guy, Randomness.
Gotcha. I'll have to check it out. I haven't thought about drying any of the meats yet because most of them are like ribeye and pretty good cuts, but I was looking at like London broils and like they might be better. I'm interested to try this beef cheeks. I have to slow cook them for a long time because they're really tough from the cow chewing all day. But when I went to Sweden, I had ox cheek and it was delicious. I did also get a bunch of bone marrow that's split in half like canoes. So I'm gonna roast those up.
No, that's nice. I've been following some people on Instagram who eat the marrow like on their raw diet.
Yeah.
And they're getting really good results.
Yeah, because that's where you get your collagen and like your bone broth that has all the good stuff for you is from. So that farm in Georgia, they had like 2.5 pounds for like $25 or split in half. But I tried it in a restaurant and they wanted like $11 for like one bone. So I was like, you know what, 2.5 pounds for $25 is pretty decent. And it's coming from a good source too. That farm down in Georgia does regenerative agriculture, and like most of they're putting actually carbon back into the soil, and they really have a cool farm. Their stuff's pretty pricey, but and that's why I'm trying to source locally. And like this local farm is a lot cheaper, but I don't mind trying to support. My cat just tried to go outside. Oh,
yeah, it's always better.
Because I also like the idea of not having things ship across the country too. So, but the farm that the farm I was getting stuff from locally, they actually stopped their meat shipments every week because they've had such a demand because they deliver in town. So they're like really low on their supply. So that's one of the only reasons I'm not using them on a weekly basis. But
yeah, I get it. It's like with this corona thing, a lot of stuff got like shortages. Like I've been ordering raw butter and raw cream from Organic Pastures, which is
nice.
like the only company that sells them raw.
Yeah,
around
it's
here.
hard because they only sell it usually for like animal consumption.
Yeah, but
Like-
in Cali they got this they got a law passed. Actually, this guy Ostrich passed like the law for raw milk import to
Huh.
get it to be able to sell it in California. So
Mike's
that's
really
lucky.
snoozing there.
Yeah, that's for our viewers, to tell them what gluten does.
Yeah, that's what gluten does. Puts you to sleep.
Literally. I think we should end this. I'm going to end the live stream on the YouTube thing.
Okay. All right. Well, good chatting.